Today's chief guest, Dr. Gulshan Rai, Mr. Shushabon Mukherjee, Mr. Sanjay Mahapatra, Mr. Shamul Dotto, and ladies and gentlemen. Today is 16th of November. Exactly 8 months ago, on the 16th of March, we, meaning the government of West Bengal in the Department of IT and E, we conducted our first series of knowledge workshops, monthly knowledge workshops in Calcutta on various topics of emerging technology, and cyber security was one of them. And today, indeed, as Mr. Shushabon Mukherjee would perhaps agree with me, today was a schedule of another workshop from the government of West Bengal. But when we came to know that this is being organized, we willingly shifted that date and decided to join them, because anybody who does it, we are with them and we like them and we support them, and we want great strides in all fields of emerging technology, including those which merge in cyber security. So what was scheduled today has been shifted to January, that will be on 5G, but I take this opportunity to inform all of you that there is a huge event being planned on 18th or 19th December by the government of West Bengal. We call it Consensus, the International Congress on Blockchain. And we already have speakers from Belgium, Japan, Brazil, Singapore, Lithuania, Israel, and so on and so forth. So this is the time to register. And interestingly, if any of you have done or know of somebody who has done an interesting project on blockchain, please register. We are showcasing these things in the 2-day seminar. Having said that, in the field of cybersecurity, we have already tied up, there is a cabinet decision taken last year that there shall be a Center of Excellence on Cybersecurity, and to make it more durable, we are tying up with the University of Technical University, which is now called MAKAUT, Maulana Abul Kalam Institute of Technology. I believe there is a speaker, Professor Debashish from the institute, very knowledgeable person, and therefore we have decided to tie up with them so that there is regular experimentation, regular laboratory growth, and effort from the research scholars and the young professors. At the moment, however, we are in the government trying to do something which not much focus has been given so far. There is a great deal of thought on how to prevent cybersecurity, how to play with artificial intelligence, how to use asymmetric encryption through blockchain in preventing cybersecurity, how to not forget and change your passwords and all those things. But what if you are actually attacked? What do you do? Is it such a very, very remote chance? Only during the pujas, during the last Sharadotsav that we just had, I will not take the name of the department, one of my colleagues in the IAS, he rang me up and said, my website, my official website has been hacked, and I am getting a mail from my own mail account saying that you pay so many dollars or else your everything will be lost. That set us thinking. If in any lift that you go, you will find, in case of fire, do not use the lift. There is a standard operating procedure. In the districts, while we were district magistrates, we have great standard operating procedure in the matter of combating natural calamities. Floods happen, cyclones happen. You can't prevent it. But then how do you deal with it? What did I tell to my colleague when he said that my official website is hacked? Of course, if you are sick, go to a doctor. That apart, is there something like the CPR? If for the first 10 seconds, if you don't pump a person who is drowned, you can never save his life or in an accident. So, for instance, we are trying to draw up a standard operating procedure, what to do if you really find that your website, your mail account, your bank account or anything has been hacked or is under attack. First thing we are trying to draw up, and this is in the policy formulation phase, first thing we are saying, don't panic. I think that's the simplest thing. But we are also telling, learn to recognize that how to see that these signs are there. Your website becomes sluggish, you find innumerable emails, difficult to delete. We are trying to collate all these symptoms. You don't get cancer in a day. You try getting symptoms. So we are trying to create an awareness that look at these symptoms, and if you see the symptoms, consult a doctor, in this case, a cyber specialist. We are saying, for example, what do you do if there is an electric shock? You switch off all the plug points. We are saying, please do, but in addition, for your computer system, for your IT system, there's another thing where things can go wrong. That is the network connection. Please switch off the network connection. Then they say, then all our systems will be down. So therefore, we are trying to say, like the good old handwritten letter, have a manual system standby for your essential things. Don't let everything get over, let it be over, but have the old thing. And that reminds me of a very popular Hollywood film that I saw in buying a ticket, that is a commercial hall just a month ago. Mr. Johnny English Strikes Again, and the story says that Mr. Bean, you know Mr. Bean, Mr. Bean is called upon by the British Prime Minister because a young hacker has stalled London. All the traffic lights are haywire. Everything is stalled. No flight can go out, which is now known as logic bombs. So he has done this. And so comes Mr. Bean with nothing, not even his mobile, and he goes, and it's a funny story, of course, but the point should be taken. Don't have everything done automatically. You also have a manual system. That is the best way to beat cyber security threats. So we are trying to say that don't panic, keep a manual standby, cut off the power, cut off the network socket, and don't, for heaven's sake, forward the mails. That when my colleague, IAS colleague and the secretary of a department told me, I have got a mail from my mail saying that please pay such and such, do not forward this. If you forward this, it will just spread around. But where is it written? Do we have a manual? We have a manual what to do in case of communal violence. We have a manual when there is a cyclone. We have a manual when there is a landslide, but perhaps we need to develop that. This is the thing that we are trying to say, and later then call the expert. Now what the expert will do, Dr. Gulshan Rai is there, full of house, and they will all do. But what does the citizen do? What does the normal office manager do? What does the secretary do? This is something we are trying to put it in a place so that together we have an ecosystem that will not allow some of our not too friendly countries to wreck our system. With this, we are also thinking of having mock drills. So like in fire, especially in the Western world, very often, suddenly in the meeting of this meeting, there will be a dung and everybody of us, come what may, you have to rush out of this room because it's a fire drill and mandatory. Could we have such kind of cyber drills also? We must be ready. We must recognize that it's a real threat, like a fire which happened in Park Street only a few days ago. I will not linger on. I will just say that this small niche segment is what is occupying our minds, and this is, I would like to have more suggestions on it. And what do you say other than the usual awareness programs which dwells on change your passwords and things like that? Don't touch an unknown source. Okay, these are good, we are also doing, but what happens if it actually strikes? We would need more inputs into it. I will end by my present experience of in reading Frederick Forsyth's last book, The Fox. I'm midway through it, reading on a Kindle, and the whole thing, the master of the day of jackal, the master of the Odessa file, the master of the dogs of war, is now writing a novel that is completely based on cyber security and cyber hack, and how a little boy is there to hack. And the elderly person, I am reminded of Mr. Shamul Doctor, no offense meant, that how he was talking of the intelligence good old days and how he goes back to those old days in combating this. Thank you very much.